People always say the book's better than the movie. Well, what movie is actually better than the book? Godfather. The book was obviously a bestseller, but it had some really cringy side plots involving huge dicks and huge vags. Puzo seems to have had a fetish about outsized sex organs, which Coppola wisely dropped in the film Stand By Me, based on Stephen King's The Body. I love the book too, but the movie is a classic to me, just perfect rendition. Goodfellas, based on the novel Wise Guy by Nicholas Pileggi. Wise Guy is actually pretty interesting. It's basically Henry Hill telling his own story. But Goodfellas is a masterpiece. No Country for Old Men is the best literal film representation of any book I've ever read. Both are masterpieces. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. The original text is a depressing short story of a guy dreaming of being greater than his actual tedious life. I love that movie even though it isn't terribly popular. The Mist. The book is better for most of it, but the ending in the movie knocks the socks off the book ending. American Psycho. The book really goes deep into Patrick's obsession with fashion and dining culture. It gets a little tedious. Not a movie, but The Boys is significantly better than the comic. Garth Ennis has some neat ideas, but he's kind of a hack. Carrie. It was King's first book and, although good, there was emotion and depth in Sissy Spacek's portrayal that went far beyond the character and the original story. Warms my heart to see so many people listing The Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, and the Jason Bourne series. I feel like a lot of it depends on the order one reads watches initially. That said, I prefer the film Memoirs of a Geisha to the book. And Howl's Moving Castle. I didn't like the books at all. Both Fight Club and LA Confidential are much better movies than books. Sometimes taking a second pass through the narrative to tighten it up for a 2-hour movie can tighten up the mistakes. I am an avid Stephen King fan, but I have to admit, the movie version of The Shining was very good, and better emo than the book. However, in most cases SK's books are much better than the movie's show's miniseries. The Rules of Attraction. The book was fine, but the movie had stunning visuals that took it much further. While the script lifted some lines directly from the book, I think the script had better character development and a tighter story. The Devil Wears Prada. Forrest Gump. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Jaws. Jurassic Park. Practical Magic. I'm thinking of ending things. Really enjoyed the book but didn't love the ending. The movie goes much bigger and weirder for the finale. The results are unforgettable. I'll do you one better. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. The book and the movie were equally great. The movie adapted the book just about perfectly. I think Hunger Games movies are great. The book's not so much. In fact, I found all that novels very hard read. Their language is just so superficial and trying to be edgy and deep. The romance subplot in book awful, at least that in movie, Jennifer Lawrence adds a charm to it. Harry Potter 5. I love most of the books, but 5 was just teenage whining for the whole very long book. The movie moved the pace along a lot better. Forrest Gump. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Bridge to Terabithia. The Princess Bride. The Shawshank Redemption. Ready Player One. It actually did a lot more with the Oasis and challenges than just jerking off 80s trivia. Depending on when you ask me, I might tell you I like the Princess Bride movie better than the book or vice versa. But both are an absolute treat. Love them both. Ready Player One movie perfectly captures the 80s nostalgia and teenage angst but skips all the terrible writing and masturbation subplots. Princess Bride. While the book is also fantastic, there is no grandfather serving as a narrative device. Instead, the book has a much more sarcastic narrator, which gives the humor of the story a different feel. The movie is much more whimsical and works better as a result. Overall better, debatable, because I love them both, but The Mist deserves an honorable mention for having an ending that made Stephen King more or less say well fuck, why didn't I think of that? Princess Bride. Shrek. The person who made Starship Troopers hated the book and made a movie that was a parody of it. I liked the book better, but a lot of people might prefer the movie. It's funny because a lot of the Starship Troopers sequels and spin-offs try to appeal to fans of both. The Hunger Games. I gave up on the first book because it was so bad emo. Then a friend took me to see Catching Fire and I wanted to see what happened after the ending, so I began reading the third book and immediately remembered why I didn't finish the first one. Shrek the book is a dumpster fire of memes. Maybe not better than the movie but definitely something. The Shining. The book is fine but Kubrick absolutely nails it with the movie. It's a shame Stephen King disagrees. Stephen King. I liked the book, but the book definitely has a lot of weird moments. Also, I prefer separating the children and adults instead of having them bounce back and forth the whole time. How to Train Your Dragon by A Million Miles. I bought the books because I love the movie. They're terrible.